one of the things that I want to focus on with Coffee Milk Media, I told you that Reset with K will always be me, right? And this is what this is. But I was trying to do too much. I really had to focus on, like, where am I putting my energy? And I was dividing myself too much. So it was good to just kind of to get really focused and say, okay, where am I putting all this energy, and what's going to be my creative outlet? So this is my creative outlet, whereas Coffee Milk Media is the business. That's that's the one I'm building up. But what I'm doing is marrying everything together as far as creative wellness is concerned, because it's important. And in order for me and this team that I'm building to do right by the clients, but also right by the brands that we're creating in-house, there has to be wellness attached to that too.
Oh, absolutely.
So the 4 words that I want to talk about, the importance of in marrying that with wellness and business is, let me see, the first one is collaboration.
Okay.
So we talk about that one a lot anyway. Curiosity. And I actually want to, in no particular order.
Okay.
Creativity and community.
Okay.
So collaboration, curiosity, creativity, and community. Where do you see, because I'm seeing it more, right, with more collaboration, the way curiosity is kind of popping up. I'm hearing it in a lot of conversations, and every time I hear it, I'm like, yes, curiosity, like keep learning, keep searching, keep growing type of deal. How do you feel all of those things play in with each other, with community, collaboration, creativity, and curiosity?
Louise, what a question. I don't know if I've thought about how they play into each other. I think what comes up for me immediately when you say it is that it usually requires you and somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Like there's things that we could do isolated, but if I'm being curious, then I'm looking inside. So that is me, but I mean, God's alongside that with me. And then when I'm in business, I'm being curious with business partners.
Yeah.
Community, that goes without saying, right? Collaboration. I'm a definition girl. So
Yes.
2 people working at the 2 groups or individuals working towards the same goal, there's got to be at least 2, right? And creativity, one of the steps that I think about when I think about building creativity and building creative confidence, and the book I was telling you about helped me with this, but it made me just kind of go back and think, is that like that seeking feedback and being in collaborative environments. So again, requires at least 2. And you know what they say about where 2 or 3 are gathered. I mean, did I come to preach today, or like what I come to?
You always preach.
So I think when I think about those words together, like sometimes maybe because of certain fears or certain life experiences, we try to do things alone. Like I'm gonna sit in my creative box.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna the things that we can do by ourselves. Like I don't need to collaborate. I want to isolate. I need to go inward. You'll hear this said on the 5-Minute Career Hack platform often, but God didn't put us here to do much of anything alone.
True.
And even when we are in not necessarily isolation, but where we are, I think my sister calls it separation, away from others, we're still separated and with God. So it requires
so you're not alone.
more than one. So that's what kind of comes up for me, impromptu. I'm sure along the way I'll think of other things, but I think those words definitely have some, that they work together. They're cousins probably.
Yeah.
And it requires more than one.
I love that. That's you know what, but that's real. And I feel like at least it's happening for me this way. For example, and I'm calling attention to it for a reason. When I was getting ready to come here today, I've really been focused on how am I showing up in spaces, right? And making sure that I show up as Keosha. For people who didn't know, that's actually my name. Yeah. So, showing up as Keosha. And so this morning...
It's K or Keosha. For those of y'all that don't know, this is Keosha,
this
ladies
Keosha
and gentlemen.
Today. So this Keosha. Yeah. This morning I woke up and I was praying. I went on my walk and I was preparing for this. And I'm going, okay, so this is my creative outlet. This is what I love to do. And I think it takes because Reset with K is it's not a business for me anymore. So I had
is it a
two business.
lifestyle?
It's a lifestyle.
Gotcha.
So this morning I was thinking about it, and I was putting clothes out, and some recent stuff that I wore, that I bought, but for other things, right? And I'm going, you know what? No, I'm gonna shower. I'm gonna put on my jeans, because somebody mentioned that the other day. Girl, you love denim. I was like, listen, my friends at home will tell you how much denim I had in my closet. Anytime we went shopping at the mall, I was getting a different pair of jeans.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just really a country girl. But then, so I was like, nope, I'm gonna put on something comfortable when I leave here. My husband and I going for a walk downtown, something real comfortable, and I start looking at tops, so I can dress that up, or I can put on some heels. And I was like, nope, I'm gonna put on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on my friend's t-shirt. I'm gonna put on this t-shirt because this is where I am. Aww. This is the season that I'm in, and I'm showing up as Kiosha in every space, moving forward. Because I think for a while, as I was building these businesses, I didn't know how to show up, right? Because I was showing up as what I thought was expected of me. But the more I lean into collaboration, which means the best way to collaborate to me is to show up as you. Because who you showing up as? Like, who you bringing to the table if you come in as somebody else? So you want to come as yourself. Then you can be fully creative. You're building community, right? And when it's, to your point, when it's not just you, because it shouldn't be just you, it sparks more curiosity. Because then you're having conversations with people, and you're like, oh, I never thought about that like that. You're good at sharing like books, podcasts, things like that to keep me curious. I'm always wanting to know more and learn more. And so I'm excited about the collaborations that we have coming up. Yeah. Because, and I'm excited.
What they say, Liddy? It's got to be Liddy.
Oh, they still say that?
I don't know. Listen. I don't know. I tried though.
I be saying all the things, and my kids be like, no. Yes. Even saying trash. I said trash the other day, and my son was like, Mom, I don't really think nobody say trash.
I said it the other day
I still say trash.
Me too. I said trash like twice in the last 3 days.
Because when things are trash, they trash.
Why make it hard when it can be easy? Okay?
Exactly. So I think collaborating right now is a big thing for me. And being I'm going to use that word again, but being intentional about collaborations and who I'm connected to and all the things. So, yeah. I love, too, how you build community. What would you say is, what are some... And we didn't talk about this before.
I know. I can tell by the look on your eyes. It's okay.
What are some tips for somebody who is interested in building community? What would you say,
That is a really good question.
Thank you.
That's a really good question. There's probably several things that, people need to consider. And I'm just going to use my time here in Austin to kind of talk about that. Because this was the first time that I moved somewhere. Because I've moved, so I don't know what year I'm on. Because when I first started saying this, it was 10 years. I think I started this 3 years ago. So within the last 13 years, I've moved 7 times in 7 different cities, right? And Austin was the first place that I came that I didn't know anybody. I brought my mom and my kids. I just divorced. I was starting a new job. And here we are in Austin. I only been to Austin twice for real quick. In and out. Never spent the night for real in Austin. And so I came here, and for the first time, I didn't know at least 5 to 20 people in the city that I was in. And so it was like, okay, I need to build community because I'm a new single mom. I need to, I can't do this by myself.
Yeah.
And I had to get past, and probably always going to be getting past my fear of trusting, fear of relationships and community members treating me bad or hurting my feelings.
Yeah.
Especially when you have kids involved. And when I've been doing some real good internal work. So you start getting a little guarded about who you have around you. So building community, and I'm embarking on this internal journey of healing while moving to Austin. I had to put aside a couple of my trust issues and be willing to be hurt. but I
That's
had
good,
I had to stay open. So that's for me the mental and emotional part of it was getting over that fear of it not going right and just diving right in. I think over time, then it started to become more intentional. Once I started to figure out in this city, well, what do I want to stand for? I'm figuring out what I'm passionate about. What do I want my purpose to be? And so now I'm building community members around me or going in these spaces that's going to fuel that, where we can collaborate at its best because we're working towards a common goal, right? And so practically that looked like, I'd say probably one of the best things I did is when Round Rock Black Parents Association was them before they were Black Families and Black Parents and Families Collective. Shout out to BPF Collective, love
BPFC.
them. All roads lead back to Mino.
I love me.
But practically it looked like that, like joining a Facebook group and finding like-minded individuals who were experiencing or looking for some of the same solutions I was looking for.
Yeah.
It was my first time having 2 small kids and putting them through school.
Yeah.
So I needed to join a collective of people who I could hear what they were talking about. I was learning all kind of stuff, just joining a couple of the monthly updates, and then that turned into obviously relationships. But find your tribe. But I think if I go back to that first one, don't be afraid to get it wrong.
Ooh,
So I'm blessed that Black Parents and Family Collective has been a blessing to me. That's led me to the Black Life ATX, to the DAWA, to the African American Leadership Institute. Those are places where I found community, but I had to be open with going inside of a Facebook group and saying, I'm looking for a workout partner.
Yeah.
I'm looking for understanding where I should be putting my kids in school. I'm looking to build my business. And you're a community right here. Let's do that. So those are the 2 things I think top of mind.
Yeah.
High level, but still kind of detailed answer is
That's good.
Get over your fear of failure, and then be open to going in places where you can with like-minded people who are looking to achieve the same things that you are. And then when you get it wrong, do it again.
So true, because you will get it wrong.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Say that again for the people in the front.
You will get it wrong.
You will get it wrong.
And that's okay.
Yes.
And, we talked about this before. I think this was kind of the conversation we went on our walk one morning about relationships. They require us to be vulnerable for them to be real. Like, I think...
There's no other way.
It's no other way. And one thing I love about what you say, which is always a reminder and so true, that people are human, right? And so...
That's so hard, though.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's so hard because I've been wanting to...
Because I'd be like, I don't be liking humans,
why?
like talking about it sometimes. I love dogs. They are loyal to a fault. They won't let nobody come do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I almost wore this morning though this shirt that I have that says "all peopled out," and I was like, maybe I shouldn't put that shirt on today, but I almost did.
It happens though.
Because it does.
Yeah.
Because even when you're building community, when we moved here, that's funny. See, I didn't know that about you. When we moved here, we knew absolutely nobody, not one soul. We came here because TJ was, he tried out for the Austin Wranglers team, which was an AFL Arena Football League team that was here. Because we just kind of looked around the map and said, okay, we're not staying in Louisiana, so where are we going? Where you want to try out? Austin, cool. Came here, visited. We stayed about 3 or 4 days. Liked it, didn't see everything, right? But where we were like, ooh, this is so nice. We love it here. And so we moved here, and the team ended up folding. Basically, the organization moved out, and we was like, oh, well, okay. So what do we do now? Because, and we stayed. But our first, I guess, the community that we just really were able to dive into was football.
Yeah.
All football, right?
Yeah.
It not just because of him.
multi-purpose.
Not just because of him, but then we had Elijah who started playing football at 4.
Yep.
Okay, that's crazy. And then we basically went through life with these same people, in community. And then but see, at that point, everything was about my husband and my son. So even though I love the people that were in this community, I really connected with the moms because that's something we had in common, right? Being moms of athletes. But I just always had this thing in the back of my mind. I was like, this is cool, but this is his thing. Like, this is not my thing. So I didn't really figure it out until I applied for that Austin Moms blog contributor situation and became a writer with them, and I forgot about writing, right? And since then I've been building community, I guess, with writers and other creatives, and that feels so good. But even I in building and being a part of communities got it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. I was just like, in some cases, I was mortified. People. I was like, oh my God, how did...
You were talking about we get it wrong because we are expecting people to be or do what we would do. And so then we get disappointed. And then sometimes, and this is the fresh revelation I got probably a month ago, expecting people to be godlike in these relationships. And then you're like, oh, I got that wrong. Not because they did something, because I expected them to behave this way and they didn't. And now I'm mad.
Yeah, now I'm mad.
Right?
Even though I chose it. Like, I allowed it to come in. And, you know, so, but at the same time, when you... It's almost like dating in a sense. I'm gonna be careful how I say this, but when you're dating and you get it wrong a few times before you get it right, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing in friendship, same thing in community. It's like, but now I feel like, I'm like, okay, I had to go through a few bad ones to really get to, but in that process, I learned a lot about myself and I grew. That's really what it was about. And like what you said, now it's you're at a point where it's like, now I'm intentional with, because I already know what it feels like on the other side of that. Now I'm intentional with who I share space with, who I share time with, who I give time to, like those types of things. So, but community is important. When you find your community, man, you know it.
Yeah. Can I add something
Please.
On that came to me as you were talking? Because, you know, same thing I mentioned at first, Black Parents and Families Collective. And yes, I went there because I am a mom.
Yeah.
And I need to be around people in the community who are parents and have kids in school, or educators, community leaders, with all that. When I went there, I wasn't the primary reason for me going there. It was something that was going to enable me to be better for Riley and Levi. I was going, you know, right? So it wasn't really me at the forefront. It was still my ability to be a great mother was one of the driving forces. And I think that's good when finding that community. But to your point, even you mentioning it was sports, you got to go find that thing for you.
You do.
Because like most times when you go to those places, it's because of you needing to pour out to somebody else, or you end up pouring out to someone else, and you don't have that place in community that actually fuels you.
Yeah, 100%.
Filling up your cup so you could be here. And trust me, I'm getting filled up in the organization that I mentioned. Yeah, but it's for my kids. Like it's good for me, but I was also taking it a little further, able to find in that community. I built some great relationships that led to other things. So eventually I was able to shift it to, this is for me. Yeah. But my original intent was for the kids.
For the kids, man. Yeah. We
so
love the kids,
I applaud you for finding, like, you know what, I need something for me. This ain't about snacks on Tuesdays for practice and
practicing
making sure that I get them to these 3 workouts a week. Yeah. That's actually draining me. Don't nobody want to say it, but I'm tired from that. I need
so tired. And not only is it physically tired, mentally tired, and relationally tired, because you're in relationship with people and sometimes you get tired. And then it's not even like TJ was like just a dad sitting on the sidelines. He was a commissioner of the league. The organization. He was a coach. He was like doing all these things. So I couldn't just sit back and chill and just like cheer. I had to volunteer. I had to be the forefront. I had to be calling people and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, I love football, right? Girl, it got so bad. It got so crazy with football. And when I say love football, that's how we really gonna get to know each other at a football game. Your girl goes... I
have to go to one with you.
I love football so much.
I will be asking you a ton of questions, but I will enjoy your energy and cheer with you, even when I don't know what's going on.
I get all into it. Well, even at Southern University, like some of my friends, you know, they be walking around and looking all cute, whatever. It was just me and one friend. that would sit there and watch the entire game. Like,
Oh,
we
wow.
were cheering, we knew everything that was going on. It got so bad with me wanting to find something for myself that there are women football teams here in Austin, and I was like, I told teacher, I was like, you know what? We in the football world. I might as well join.
Yeah, go ahead.
Girl, no, they would have ran over me. The first thing he said was, and so what position are you gonna play?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wide receiver. I could catch the ball. And I was getting all hype about it. And he was like, baby, it's a tackle football team. So you willing to get tackled without getting mad? I was like, nah, I'm going to chill out on that. I'm going to watch from the sidelines. But that's why I was hungry to find something for myself. And, you know, with still being involved with what made him happy and what made my son happy and what they were passionate about, I couldn't forget about myself. And really, that's how Reset with K started. Because I said to myself, maybe 2019, I'm like, I need to push the reset button. Like, I really need to. And I started saying things like, before I was a wife and a mom, I was a woman. I was Keosha. And I had to go back to, okay, what does Keosha love? We change, right, as we grow older. But there are some core things that you just, like, that's you. And I lost that, and I had to find it. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm so glad I found it.
Yes, and you're going to keep discovering. It's the glory to glory. You're going to keep going. Now that, because once you say it out loud and be like, okay, I'm hitting reset. Yeah. Like, you're not going to be able to unhear even what you declared. And so now everything you're doing is in that reset mindset of, and even being okay with the fact that sometimes you have to reset. You do. You actually, let me change my language. You get to reset.
You get to. Oh, I love that.
Daily. Yeah. Fresh 24. Every day. I get to change my mind. I get to change my behavior. I get to change my actions. Yes. I get to change the way I think. I get to build character. Every day. I get a fresh chance to do so.
Every day.
Right? And so once you start thinking like that, like, it's really hard to go backwards.
It's
really hard to go backwards. I remember when 2020 was kind of when I hit my reset. And I just started uttering. It was the year of our Lord 2020 on September 28th. And I said, freedom and peace. I'm gonna find you. And I was like, I went out of town. I'm going on a freedom and peace tour. I was everywhere doing things, having fun.
Enjoying life.
Enjoying life. Because I knew my life, this is right before Austin, I knew my life was about to change. And so I'm going to now start speaking out of my mouth what I want my future to look like. I was not free and I was not peaceful. Yeah. But I start saying it. I'm freedom and peace. That's what I'm declaring this new season. And that has followed me now 4 years later. Love it. Where I can go back and talk about it and share the story in this context versus from the context of who I was bound and, I had to figure it out. No, I declared freedom and peace. I'm so glad I did. And I now see it coming to fruition in my life. In my business, right? Because of the words I spoke out of my mouth.
Those seeds that you planted and now you're reaping the harvest.
Yes. And most of us are scared to just say it though.
We are. Yeah. We are scared to say it because I think, and let me know what you think about that. Once you say it, that's kind of it. Like, for example, I purposely will tell y'all things that I want to do because now I got to hold myself accountable to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm like, no, I said it. So, like, I'm careful about what I say because if I say something, then I know in the back of my mind, I'll be like, no, you said it. Yeah. And so you have to follow through, right? Yeah. So I think a lot of times we don't say things.
Yeah, because we don't want to be accountable to it. Yeah, absolutely. And you've heard me say this several times. It is the reason why I post myself on a treadmill. Yeah. In the gym. Yes. Because if it's not a day where when me and Kay gonna walk, I got to go to the gym and I may not have a gym partner. Yeah. My accountability partner is social media where I have to go and post because I won't let myself down. Yeah. Ooh, but having an accountability partner in the things that you're trying to do is extremely important. And so, yes, I used to be the same way, though. I'm not going to get online and tell them I'm working out, Lord, because I'm going to have to work out.
I'm like, oh.
Now it's motivation.
It is.
Because I don't want to let that person on the other side down.
I love that.
Right?
And you know what? I want to speak to that because that's part of community.
Because I let me down before I let them down. It's how we're wired.
It's how we're wired. And it's so funny because I feel the very same way about not wanting to let people down.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what I want to say to those of you who feel like when you're posting things, whether it's about your business or something extraordinary happens in your life, when we don't get likes and shares and all the things, you start to feel like, oh, okay, well, like is nobody's. I'm gonna tell you, the DMs, the messages on Messenger, the calls, the text messages that I get from women who say, what you said the other day I needed. They didn't like the post. Mm-hmm. They didn't comment.
Yeah, you can't judge it off that.
Yeah, you can't judge it off of that because you don't know. Sometimes people won't, and this is what I've noticed since doing this wellness stuff for women. Sometimes women won't react to something or like comment because they don't want other people to know that resonates with them because they don't want other people to know their business. So when I post something transparent, like, you know, just whatever it is, whether it's about business, because right now I am fully transparent about where I am with business. I'm not hiding that from nobody because there are other business owners who may have had a slow summer, who may have lost a client, who financially are trying to figure it out. And I have had women say to me, oh, well, listen, I had to find $250,000 every month. I had to, you know, being very transparent about where they were, and it helped me. It actually motivated me to keep going. And so I know that's doing that for somebody. I had somebody tell me on a call maybe about 2 weeks ago. She said, Keosha, she called me by my government name. I've been knowing her a long time. She was like, Keosha, I don't necessarily, and that's why I'm talking about this now, I don't necessarily react or engage with your posts, but I want you to know that I see them and they help me keep posting. And so I'm saying, like, even when it feels like no one is listening, they are. Yeah. I mean, we see a lot of times people will post things about your haters watching, but people who are inspired by you are watching too. And so, but to your point about it holding you accountable, that's good because somebody's watching you and they're inspired by you. Yeah. And they're like, you know what? I need to get on this treadmill.
Even like, if I never get a comment about it.
Exactly.
You have to just know that's what it is.
You have to just know that's what it is. Yep. And it's so encouraging. So,
and it's important to be vulnerable too. Sorry if I
No, you're good.
It's important to be vulnerable. This is probably another podcast episode we need to come back and record. Because it helps validate the human experience that happens for me as a kingdom ambassador, for me as a mom, for me as a business person, a professional, a coach, a speaker. When I see somebody else being vulnerable, it validates that I am still human when I am experiencing challenges.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the problem is, and I'll take it kind of a little 5-minute career hack. If you looked at my LinkedIn page for when I first started building my LinkedIn brand, early 2010s, I don't know if that's how you say that, you wouldn't find me being vulnerable. You would find me telling you how to be successful or sharing celebrating my success with you, which was not wrong. Yeah. But being vulnerable wasn't it. So the person who looked to me for, oh my goodness, I am being sexually harassed at work. I don't know what to do. Well, I've never talked about the times where I was sexually harassed at work. So now that person who probably looks up to me as a picture of success thinks that something is wrong with them because they being sexually harassed at work. Exactly. And they scared to go to HR. Yeah. So it's super important. Like even when we start building 5-minute career hack, we were like, this is not about successes. This is about failures too. Yeah. Which is kind of they cousins. They actually, I think they like close brothers.
Definitely related.
Same gender. Yeah. like I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to make it be a thing.
Personalize it.
But it's got to be about, I built this amazing career because I had these great things I did, but because I failed probably 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Yes.
probably more. I'm just being nice to myself
Right.
right now. For every one success, I had a couple failures that I had to go through.
Yeah.
And I wasn't super open at first about being vulnerable. I was trying to still keep it polished. I would say my creativity, me being operating better in my purpose and my calling came as a result of me being more vulnerable. Being willing to say, I got fired from my job this
Yes.
one time. Or I allowed this guy at work to say inappropriate things to me and I was too scared to say something and I didn't leverage
Yeah.
my resources. I became more creative when I started talking about the things. I got a divorce. I got a whole divorce. I've been in therapy for 13. Well, what the year is this? Since I was 21. Oh my God, I'm 38. 17 years, right?
Yeah.
Being more vulnerable is what helped me to show up more authentically.
Yeah.
Back to your point, I was able to collaborate more effectively. I was able to be more creative, and I had a more healthy community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like, but the same thing happened to me once I started being vulnerable, because I also had to get rid of that whole what happens in this house stays in this house thing. Like, okay, so we don't have this, and this is
Yeah, I'm
this
about
is
to punch
whatever.
that demon in the face right now. What happens in this house stays in this house. Boom, right there.
We don't. So this is what's happening, right? But when we go over here, we need to be like this and like this and like that, right?
Absolutely.
And I just it will, for the people pleaser that I was, that didn't help me break the people pleasing.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, it fueled it. Because I'm just like, oh, I got to show up like this. And what do you need? Oh, I have to be so helpful. You want me to help you plan your wedding, your baby shower, and your going away party? I got you. I don't have the time, but it's okay. And on the inside, I'm going, especially when I leave, I'm like, why did you say yes? Well, because I had been taught that you have to show up a different way, which back to my first point is why I showed up like this.
Yeah,
It's
you
why I
gotta show
took
up
the
how you're
pillow.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's why I took the pillow off my back and put it on my lap, because I'm comfortable that way. Sometimes at
Yes.
home I sit like this.
Yes.
Like I want, even in business, for women to be encouraged to show up as yourself. Show up as yourself. To your point with vulnerability, because when you show up as yourself, and I know that takes time for a lot of people, because sometimes you go through very traumatic things, and if you haven't had therapy, if you don't have community, a supportive, loving community, then it's not very easy to just throw yourself out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But once you get to that point when you're working on yourself, doing that inner work, you're working on healing, you're growing, it's hard and it's uncomfortable, and you're being stretched. But we talked about this yesterday, that when you're giving birth to something, like I know right now, I know, when I say close.
She about to preach, y'all. She about to preach. I'm about to run around and laugh.
I am in my 3rd trimester with this business, and I know it. I can talk about quarters all day, but I am in my 3rd trimester with this business. You know, when you first start a business and you tell people, just like, and I'm gonna compare it to being pregnant, right? Everybody's rejoicing. They're like, "Oh my God, it's awesome! Oh, congratulations!"
It's their party.
Right, it's their party. Yeah, because you also have to buy the snacks and the food and everything to feed everybody. And okay, and you might not get a gift. Yeah. But so is there? They come without a gift for the baby or for you. So you go through that celebratory part of starting the business. Everybody is excited. You're building. You got your logo and your marketing stuff or whatever. You get into the thick of it. You're trying to build clientele. You leaning into that, and for some people it's very hard, because just as in with pregnancy, you may have some morning sickness, right? You don't know, like, it's leaning into that. You like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Why did I decide to quit this job and take a risk and do all these things? Second trimester,
anxiety and fear. That's what that is. That's that morning sickness.
Exactly. Second trimester, you build a little community. You got like a little thing on. You're going to all the things networking.
Gender reveal.
Right. Gender reveal. It's a whole bunch of But that 3rd trimester, when you are uncomfortable, because pregnancy is beautiful, but as that baby starts to grow, man, you don't know how to lay down. Like you try maybe the right side, or the baby don't like that no more. So now you got to move over to the left. You can't breathe. You don't got to go up the steps, right?
Yeah.
It gets
most uncomfortable space.
most uncomfortable phase. And the closer you get to delivering, it gets more and more uncomfortable, right? But the rejoicing part of all that is you are getting ready to give birth to something so beautiful, such a blessing that's going to bring you so much joy. It's the same thing. That is where I'm at right now. Yeah. This summer has not been easy. Yeah. Losing a really big client has been like, okay, God, okay, well, I could have just been promoting books. Like, why did I have to pick because that's what he wanted me to do. And so you can't go back and be like, you in your third trimester, you gonna have this baby. Like this baby is coming, right? Yeah. So you have to push. And that's where I'm at right now. And we talked about this, which is why I'm so intentional about the spaces that I'm in right now, who I'm talking to right now. Because when you're getting ready to go into the hospital or with your doula or however you choose to have the baby, you're very specific about who you want in the room. Yeah. And you should be. Yeah, as right? You should. Yeah. And you should be. You should be like, no, she gonna cause drama, so I don't want. It's the same thing. Yeah. So I'm protective of my space at the moment, which I will continue to be, but especially at this moment, because I'm like, oh no, I'm in my pushing season. I got to go ahead and give birth to this thing. I'm not miscarrying this vision. I have worked way too hard and have sacrificed way too much. And now that I have community, I actually have women around me who's like, you better push. We need to push together. Okay, breathe. Like that's where I'm at. And so speaking of, but that also takes vulnerability, right? Probably TMI. But when you are,
you let somebody in there with your legs open.
I'm talking exposed,
your legs wide open. Yeah. I'm following this. This is my language right here.
The first time with the C-section, I mean, I didn't emergency C-section. I didn't really have time to think about it. Because it's like the baby's not breathing. He's and it was like, oh, we got to go. So I wasn't, I was all doped up and everything was going on. It was really fast. So I didn't have time to really think about the fact that there were strangers in the room that was seeing all of my parts, right? Second and third time wasn't, okay, I'm like, dang, I don't even know this nurse, like, and this man in here, you a nurse? Why are you in here?
Touching on me.
The second time. And you can't even feel it in parts of you because you're numb, right? The second time, Isaiah was a breeze. So I was fully aware. I just was like, oh, well, who is this man? Like, why is he in here? Like, right? So vulnerability in community, vulnerability in growth, like in the seasons where it gets the toughest, it does boost your creativity. It does like even spark more curiosity. It does all those things. It makes you, because having a baby is a collaboration, right? You're not doing it by yourself. There's a doctor in there. There's a nurse, many nurses doing many different things. Everybody has a job to push this thing through. And that's why I'm so thankful for my community. So thankful for y'all because everybody doing a job. Berlina probably over there with some kind of crazy looking face in the corner waiting on the baby to come out. Like everybody has a function. When you get in, like you know who to call for certain things, right? Who can make you laugh off the bat, who you can cry with, but there's a common goal to support you in the push. Yes. And so community is super important with all of those things: collaboration, creativity, and curiosity. They all work together.
Yeah, and you talked about too, like from a wellness standpoint, and this is, I'm gonna try to talk through maybe a quick, fresh revelation I just got as I listen to you talk about this birthing season. Because I done had 2 kids and I didn't have no C-section, so I had,
you know about pushing for real.
Did have epidural though, because I didn't want to feel the pain of the birthing season. Come on, that's another sermon right there. But I don't have time today. I'm gonna have to come back to you for a B selection another day. But it is important that who's in the room, who's in community, because you don't want them contaminating the room.
That's another C word. Ooh,
You don't
contaminate, that's
want
big.
them
Yeah.
speaking things over your new blessing
Yeah.
that are not
I needed
even a
that.
part of it, right? So you have to be super careful, and you talked about it all being about wellness. And so I think I shared with you, this is the fresh revelation part, because it is important who you have in that room, because mom has to be healthy after this is birthed, and the baby got to be healthy.
100%.
Right? So you're considering both. My skills, abilities, talents, my vision, and the baby and the results that's being produced from that. And they both got to be healthy. And most times when you start to realize why it went wrong, it's usually connected to something you heard, saw from someone around you, whether it was digitally or in person, right? It is so important that we are doing evaluations of our community.
Girl, can I run real quick?
You can. I mean, we want to get that. You can, because he wants us to use our bodies.
Yeah.
I heard this for the first time, and I was okay with it after reading a book. Actually, it was 2 books. One was We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. She talks about doing a relationship evaluation. I forget what she called it, but it was something like do your yearly check on your performance review of your friend group. And when you think about your goals and where they're going and where they're being, is their alignment. Darren Hardy talks about it in Compound Effect and where he gives you criteria of how to rate where you are from a spiritual, mental, emotional, physical standpoint, and physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, physical, right? All those things. And then rate every one of your friends on where they are. Tally them scores. It's not because we bad people.
Right.
But you need to know, because you're birthing something that has to be healthy.
Straight up evaluation today.
You're birthing something that has to be healthy. So who's around you while that's being birthed? Not that they would have power to kill your baby. That's abrupt, but that's just the way it came out. Not that they would have power.
We're here
to kill your baby.
Yeah.
But there could be something that enters into that new season that you're entering in, or this new venture, this new endeavor. Something said, something done that you had awareness of before you even brought them into the room.
Girl, you better preach, because
You just didn't want to write it down, acknowledge it, and confront it. And then you get there and you're like, I'm dealing real time, y'all. I'm right now today. This is evergreen, so I ain't gonna tell y'all what day it is, but God dealing with me with this right now.
Me too. That's why I'm like dang.
Right now.
I'm accepting.
But bringing them into this new season when you had all the signs, didn't want to write it down, you were trying to solve their problems. So you kept them in community with you. And I'm going to end it with something that we heard recently that, we agree with to a degree, right? Things that were not your assignment because it was so far away from what you were doing in a delivery room. Not your assignment. But you took it on as an assignment because you wanted to try to solve that problem or heal your own hurt through that person. So you kept them in community with you, and the whole time, you done took your eye off your baby.
Girl.
You ain't even watching what's coming out your. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because you
they
watching.
all up in your Yahoo. Like,
I don't know if I connected the whole dot on that.
Nah,
I
you
added
connected
some
the
stuff,
whole dot.
But evaluate your friendships as often as you need to.
Oh my gosh.
I had to do it this one time, and sometimes, bro, I'm on I had to do a 3-month recently. Like, I need to do another evaluation, and it's okay. It's okay.
So okay.
Yeah.
I swear, what you're
There's
talking about.
There's gotta be some diversity there. Yeah.
I was just talking about that on the way here.
Yeah.
With TJ.
Look at God. Look at God.
That evaluation, I just was like, especially about one particular person, I was like, no. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't even have words for it right now, but I have to trust what I feel. Mm-hmm. And, when I say sit with things, I want to make sure that people don't misunderstand what I mean. I'm not saying take 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
But
some things you don't need to pray for. Just
no, some things
the
you don't need to
answer.
pray for. You just need to go ahead and do.
Yeah, looking
right?
for signs.
But it's like, because some things you already know what to do.
Yeah.
You just kind of dragging it out.
Yeah.
But in this one particular thing, I know this evaluation that I have done. I know what is being, like, I don't want them in the room when I give birth. That's not the energy, the intent, like all the things. Now that I evaluated everything, I'm just like, no, I can't. So I love that you said that, because that's so in alignment with where I am right now. Because I don't want my situations all exposed to people who are not supposed to be in that room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that requires you to be super vulnerable, and not everybody can be trusted with your vulnerability. And also, I don't want to give birth to this thing that I'm so close to giving birth to, and then this person becomes attached to the baby, but that's not, there's no assignment there. So the attachment itself, it's like, no. And in this particular case, this is not your baby, this is mine. Right? It's just different things. So, oh my God.
The hand that rocks the cradle.
Straight crazy.
That's what was just going through my mind right now. I went straight back to Helen and them on the hand that rocks the cradle. That baby. Now she breastfeeding your baby.
Oh, girl. You know what? I don't know.
I don't know if we came here for this, but you just took me there.
I feel like that's a whole separate.
It's a separate podcast.
It is, but you know what? It's a beautiful. We got to talk about that more in depth.
For real. Because you want to do it right now. We just don't have time.
Yeah, I'm like, I saw the time pop up. So I'm like, I can't, that's an extensive conversation that really needs to be had, because what I'm noticing as we're wrapping up is with women, and I kind of say this often because I'm noticing it often, that a lot of the creative blocks that we have, or just fear behind it, or behind different things, are either rooted in emotional weight that we have not let go of, or relationships. Anytime I post anything about women in relationship with other women, like friends, and not knowing what to do with those friendships and stuff like that, that's normally when I get the feedback. I've been kind of toiling with this, and I don't know how to have this conversation about, like, whatever. And so you can't have everybody in the room with you when you're giving birth. Yeah. Evaluate.
You mentioned creative blocks, and I'm going to say it fast because I know we have to go. I got one more thing I want to add to that.
Yeah.
So you said relationships, block creativity, and what was the other thing?
Emotions. Emotional weight.
I think one of the roots of that is also our beliefs.
True.
I think our beliefs block our creativity.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it, actually.
Read it, girl.
Let me see. I looked up the definition of creator. I got to get this out. It's on the top of my spirit right now. I got to get this out. So I look up the definition of creator. And it says a creator is someone who creates. So what's create? Creative, actually. Let me go creative.
My friend,
I should have wrote this down. Y'all know I'm a dictionary person.
Yeah, I love it.
Marked by the ability or power to create. So do you have the ability or the power to create, to bring things into existence?
Ooh.
Do you have the ability or the power? So then you know how I go. Then I go to, well, what's God's definition of creative? What's the Bible say about creativity? I love that from that message. That desperation message? Yes. That's another podcast too. Ooh. So I go to Genesis 1:26, and it basically said 1:26 and 27, I believe, they talk about God made all the fish, the sea, all that. Then he made man and gave him you know, one of my favorite words, dominion.
Dominion.
Shout out
Dominion.
Transformation Church.
Yes.
Gave you dominion, and I made them in my image and my likeness.
Yeah.
But what did God do? He created.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the ultimate creator, and he made us in his image and his likeness.
Boom.
So
Check
what
it.
do I believe what it says right here? It
Right.
says that I'm creative.
Yeah.
So I think I even shared with you, I used to run around talking about, I'm just not creative. I just hire creative people in my corporate America voice. But actually, I don't believe that anymore. I was actually just lying
Yeah.
to mask that fear of failure from being creative and getting it wrong. But now I believe, because the creator said that I was made in his image and likeness, that I'm creative. So now I got to go look for evidence of when I was creative.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I brought that up, because sometimes we think that something too external is blocking our creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just all about what you believe and what's swimming around in your head.
Very true.
So if I'm saying every day I got dominion, block what?
Ain't no block. 'cause
Block
you got
where?
dominion.
Come on. I mean, join in with me.
2 + 2 = 4. We just solved simple math. Like it really is. It really is rooted in that. And the next time we talk, I want to dive into that belief.
Yeah.
Because even in therapy, that was one of the things that my therapist would bring up about belief and values and like bringing it all back to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a good topic. So until next time.
Yes. This has been amazing.
Amazing.
I have grown. That's one of my values, growth.
Yes.
And then as an expectation I do have for relationships is that the fruit that is produced from that relationship is one of growth.
Yeah.
Not meaning that you got to always pour into me, but the fruit that's being produced is that I'm getting better. And I got better today. Again, thank you.
Boom. Every time we talk, I get better too. Because Candace drops the nuggets. Okay.
Okay.
She drops the nuggets.
I receive it and appreciate it, but ma'am, back at you. Thanks for having me, though.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for sharing
This ought
space
to be a
with
funny
me.
outro.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for sharing space with me. Thanks for being part of my community and collaborating and sparking curiosity together and being creative together. And we're about to do some crazy things. So
Crazy faith is only crazy until it happens.
Oh, this was good, Candace. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you. I'm glad you're in my community too.
Me too.
Yes.